With summer break around the corner, Pat suggests the family take a vacation, but Courtney throws a wrench into those plans. Hello, everybody. I'm Steve from VALHARTV, and today I'll be reviewing Stargirl Season 2, Episode 1. So, Season 1 had a rough start in the very beginning. But as we saw that the season progressed, it did stick the landing with episodes 11 through 13. Honestly, episode 11 is really where the season, I think, started to shine. The show did. And 13 really stuck the landing for what they were going for. So I actually really liked that. In my opinion, though, the best part about this entire show was the villains. The original Injustice League was fantastic. All the villains were. Their backstories were fantastic. What they were wanting to accomplish was better than what the heroes were trying to do. You know, they were trying to make a better America so they didn't have to, like, their kids didn't have to go through the things that they had to go through. And you really kind of are sympathetic towards the villains in season 1. Because they all have, like, most of them have this ideal that they're going for, that they're trying to accomplish, even though that they're going around, towards it through the wrong way. So it really kind of, you were kind of rooting for both teams and stuff. But honestly, I think the heroes in this weren't bad either. Courtney had some decent character growth throughout it. Every time she'd try to do something because, she was Stargirl, the staff chose her, it's her destiny to do this. And every time she'd try to do something, it got thrown back in her face, and she wouldn't listen to Pat until, like, really the end of it. So I really thought that was kind of good about that as well, because you really got to see, like, her get humbled a little bit, every time she'd try to do something. But, like, I also think, like, some of the casting choices weren't very good in this either. There's some characters that really just didn't have any character growth. Their backstories were just basically motivated by revenge, and that's it. They didn't have anything else. But overall, it was a decent season. Really decent to good, especially at the end with the last 3 episodes. So this episode, now that we're coming into season 2, kind of takes place, it seems like maybe a few weeks after the ending of season 1. Everybody's trying to get back to normal, things like that. But we do open with a scene back decades before Courtney becomes Stargirl. And there's a little girl named Rachel who's talking to her mom, and she goes out and sits on a porch because she's upset that she can't go to this party. And a little boy walks up to her named Bruce, and Bruce convinces her to go over to the party, and then he convinces her to steal a present. And after she steals this present, we get to see what the little boy really is. And we don't get to see what happened to the little girl, but it's really creepy. And as they're pulling back, we get to see a name on the mailbox, which I think is going to be significant for the rest of this season. And I thought it was a good opening, to be honest with you. So now we got cut to modern, to present day, and the new JSA is on patrol, and everyone's really starting to get frustrated with Courtney because she's obsessed with patrolling and fighting crime. We really start to get that right from the moment we jump back into the present. And everybody's like, there's nothing going on. Every night we come out here, nothing's going on. And Courtney's like, maybe we can stop patrolling, from 7 days a week to 6 days a week. And people are just like, later. They just walk away from her. And we get to see that everybody's really kind of dealing with certain things in the new JSA. But really, like, it's still interesting. Like, some of the characters still need a little more character development and growth. But Courtney is definitely obsessed with, again, fighting crime. and she literally starts going through the old JSA files, looking for more Injustice members to go and fight in this episode. And Pat literally has to, tell her, no, she has obligations to be a teenager and to go to school and get good grades. And we see that Courtney's pushing back again on that, being like, no, the staff chose me. The staff still is still lighting up, so there's more crime out there. And he's like, you need to go do this stuff. So he tries to plan a family trip. And then they get a phone call from school, and they find out that Courtney is in trouble. So their whole vacation's kind of ruined because of this. And we see that she has to go to summer school in order to make up all this stuff. So we really, really get to see that everybody's really kind of disappointed and frustrated with Courtney because of her obsession with being Stargirl. But then we also get Yolanda, who literally in season 1 had no issues with deleting Brainwave. She just stands there and is like, yeah, I'm gonna just do this and watch you and be like, see ya. And in this episode, she really is struggling with that. Like, she's struggling with if she should be a Wildcat or if she should just give it up and kind of like confess that she killed somebody or deleted somebody. So it's really kind of weighing heavily on her. But then something happens, and I'm thinking that something happened between her and Brainwave while she was watching him in the first season. So I'm really kind of interested in where that's gonna head. But then there's Beth. Beth has been a bad character all around. And it's unfortunate that they had to do a character like this, especially this way. She has no character development or growth. She's basically neglected by pretty much everybody, including her parents, in my opinion. Nobody pays attention to her. But she has nothing to offer the team without the goggles. Like, she has no skills or abilities that she's really bringing to the table without the Dr. Midnight goggles. And those are broken, and she's trying to fix them so she can get Chuck back. And it's really kind of sad. And I don't know if that's what they're going for, is for you to be more sympathetic towards her or not. But it really doesn't work, in my opinion, because of the fact that it's just really sad that what is happening, and the fact that she isn't even trying to develop any skills or anything like that, even though she's supposed to be really smart and she's supposed to be fixing, she's fixing the goggles. She should be, every single one of them, in my opinion, should literally be training in some kind of martial arts or some kind of, something to help protect themselves and other people. I mean, we don't really see any of this other than Courtney a little bit in season 1. So it's really kind of weird that nobody's really actually trying to do anything. But with Beth's character, she's just more there to be there, as an extra person. So I hope, honestly, I really do hope they do something more with her character. Give her something more. Because all these heroes should have good character development, and just letting somebody sit there and kind of stagnate isn't right. So hopefully we get to see a little bit more for her. But this episode does end with a glimpse of the new Injustice team and a surprise pick for the villains too that we don't really see coming. I think they honestly should have kept that one a little closer to the chest and played it a little later on, but worked on the person, at the same time, so we could try to figure out, be like, hey, what are they trying to do? And then, be like, oh, here's our next pick, you know what I mean? So I think they could have played that one a little closer to the chest, waited a little bit longer to drop that one, because it is kind of a surprise. Like I said, I didn't actually see it coming. But the effects in this were good for the most part. I actually did like the opening with, we do find out it's Eclipso, I believe is what the villain's name is, where he's the little boy who tricks Rachel into stealing. I thought that was really creepy, especially what they did with the little boy's face, things like that. Other than that, there is a good fight scene in this as well, in Courtney's house, where Courtney is fighting somebody else. So it's really kind of cool, but it's still the same graphics from like season 1. So we really haven't improved a lot on that, but that's fine because they weren't really bad in season 1 as well. So we really get to see all this. The acting was good for the most part. I mean, everybody's, convincing in their parts of what they're playing. Courtney being obsessed with, fighting crime and trying to find more injustice members was believable. Especially when we find out that her grades were falling behind and she just didn't care about school. So, and then we have her stepbrother, Mark, he's like a 30-year-old dude trying to play a kid, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what his age is in real life, but his character acts like he's 30. He's like, hey, Dad, I'm gonna go and, hit up a bar. You want to join me? And it's like, wait, what? The way he talks to his dad, especially in season 1, I was just like, is this kid 12? Or is he like 30? And he still plays the same part. So his acting was just as good as it was in season 1. But overall, this episode was good. I actually do like it. We get to see the consequences of Courtney's obsession with being Stargirl. And I am interested in seeing what's going on with Yolanda, as far as what she did to Brainwave, and if Brainwave maybe did something to her just before he passed away. But we also get to meet a new girl in this episode, too. So we get a new girl on the block. And it was really kind of interesting and cool the way they introduced her in this episode. But we also get to see someone from season 1 come back that we were not expecting. Like, I wasn't expecting it, this person to come back. So I really do hope that the CW doesn't mess this up, because this is going to be exclusively on the CW instead of being on DC Universe, on HBO Max. So I would honestly give this at least a 7.5 out of 10 easily. This was a good opening for the season. Hopefully we get to see more episodes that get more character development for everybody. If you guys like what I do, please hit the like button and also subscribe and leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought about this episode. Take care for now, everybody.